Hi there, and welcome to the 100 Meditation Tips. In this particular tip, we are looking at practicing meditation anonymously. If you stick with your meditation practice and you start to develop deeper experiences and you go to more deeper meditations, you'll see that one of the more advanced practices is a meditation based around no self. It's called no self, where we try to understand how our self exists. And one of the results of this practice is that our mind becomes very, very peaceful because our sense of grasping onto ourself reduces, and as a result, naturally we feel calmer and happier. But leading up to that, it's important to observe the way in which we practice our meditation, and from time to time practicing it, our trainings anonymously, in the sense that we don't always need to tell people that we're practicing. We don't always need to be meditating in a group. We don't always need to log or report our trainings online, whether it's through an app or some other form of technology. Of course, this can be very helpful to see the legacy, the history of our training. But at the same time, we have to be careful that it doesn't just simply become, a badge or a T-shirt, something that, in a respect, props up our egocentric mind. One really powerful element of meditation practice is that it can reduce the sense in which we grasp onto ourselves, our ego-grasping mind. And to get into that space, it's good sometimes to kind of go under the radar, to build up a confidence in our practice, so we can just simply sit anywhere and practice. We don't always need to meditate in a group. We don't always need to meditate in a center. We don't always need to log and report our progress. We can just, as Buddha said in his initial instructions on meditation, on breathing meditation, sit under a tree. If your breath is long, focus on that. If it's short, focus on that. And just simply observe. We're not advertising, promoting our training in any way. So we're kind of entering into a different space. Meditation is a very personal, subjective practice. And if we want to gain deeper experiences, then we definitely need to have a wisdom in the way that we approach grasping, so our practice doesn't become sort of materialistic. In a sense, it's just another thing that bolsters and increases our egocentric mind, because this mind is part of the strength in which we grasp onto this mind is part of the reason why we experience a lack of inner peace and disturbance in the first place. So again, it's looking at a skillful way in which to approach our practice. So this little tip is not to go completely anonymous, of course, disappear completely, but from time to time, step back, go under the radar, enjoy your meditation practice for yourself. Of course, we have the intention to train to benefit many other people, but to build up that relationship with our meditation practice, we know that we're practicing. We don't necessarily need to tell everybody else. It's quite interesting, actually, in some of the more advanced Buddhist practices, you actually encourage to practice in secret. There's stories of many advanced meditators who had deep, high practices, but they never actually told anybody. In that sense, they were keeping it within and not reducing the power of it. It's said it's a bit like if you have a lot of money, you're not necessarily advised to tell lots of people that you do. It's one sure way of ending up with not very much. In the same way, the wealth of our spiritual practice, our meditation practice, is sometimes good too. Of course, we can confide in friends and people we trust, but it's good sometimes to allow it to build up gradually and keep it to us, something that we keep just to ourselves. We preserve it, and in that way, it grows. So that's a little bit about practicing meditation in a kind of anonymous way. And this, if we do it skillfully, will lead us into this selfless practice later on. Thanks for listening, and hope to see you again. Bye for now.